I'm saying, you know, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married?
What do you?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin. And so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then, I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
You know, and that's a fair complaint. I wish I was. But, you know, we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's fair that you get to be here and you get to be paid.
So it feels like America is stuck on stupid people. Like, why do people, you know, these media platforms, okay, let's be a little bit more specific here. These media platforms are so solely focused on getting views, getting clicks, getting whatever statistics that they want to pursue. They will compromise common sense, they will compromise truth, they will compromise just intelligence with the most ignorant people on God's green earth. I wasted time of my life today watching probably one of the most uninformed individuals doing this just for the bag. And when you meet people like that will say anything, do anything, be anything just to get some money, it's almost embarrassing to be a human being, because I don't know why. I don't know why. And I'm talking about what's her name? Pearl Davis. I don't even know who this clown is. And I think my life would have been better if I didn't know who this was, because just hearing her talk, okay? I will give up my voting rights if she never spoke again. Like, if she promised to never get on any media platform for the rest of her life, I would do it. I wouldn't vote ever again if she made that promise, because it's just upsetting that these platforms will platform idiots like this, and they know they're just doing this for clout. They will say anything just to keep a reputation that pays, which is the definition of a grifter, an opportunist. So let's go ahead, watch this clip. Pearl Davis is on Piers Morgan Uncensored, and sometimes, like, honestly, some people need to be censored, because we can't just allow idiots like this to have huge platforms like this saying nothing, saying not a damn thing about anything, just wasting people's time. So let's go ahead and watch this clip, and we're going to have that conversation.
And plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
You already know.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so that your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint.
Okay, well, Pearl joined.
Okay. Even just watching that, it's, oh my God, it's not even worth the time to, like, even tackle that 20 second of stupidity in every way, shape, or form. Oh, Jesus, I don't want this video to be too long, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
John's been alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she heard. Right, Pearl, you've been called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. You know, I'm a fan of Andrew Tate.
Of everything he says?
It depends what we're talking about, but overall, I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young men.
Okay, look, you're talking about women.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself, the right to vote?
Well,
okay, so I'm thinking, because like I say, I probably seen her on Destiny's, you know, when she would have, you know, debates with him, you know, just there. But something like this, hey, women should not be allowed to vote. I'm thinking she's going to drop something. She's going to drop some knowledge. Like, okay. I mean, maybe. It's intriguing. You know, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Let's see the disappointment in her answer.
What happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, like, why would women not? No, it's true. It's true. You look it up.
At the time.
At the time.
Because they've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
I mean, that's what they say. But, you know, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. You know, before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were married. And, you know, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
Well, what's that got to do with them having the vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility.
What does this have to do with the right to vote? Just because of the few people that you supposedly read these writings didn't want to vote or thought voting would destroy families, what about the women who want to vote? Or women that are married and still want to vote? Why? Okay, let's try this again. Answer the question. Why shouldn't women vote? Go for it.
Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is essentially the draft.
Okay, but specifically on the vote, what would having the right to...
Just quickly, there are women that do other jobs that men wouldn't or couldn't do. 1. 2, there's women that do these more physical jobs. And trust me, I done worked just about every physical job. And there was at least a couple of women doing the exact same thing. So, okay, they're doing it. So what does this have to do with voting? What is we gonna try it again. Let's go at this one more again.
To vote have to do with family cohesion, for example?
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have 2 votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped about...
No, do you know when it's sort of like,
I know.
It's just sort of a bit galaxy brain. I feel like, you know, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
They just kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
allegedly?
The time, well,
what do you mean allegedly?
At the time that you're talking about, you know, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they were. That's incorrect. The first female property owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work and couldn't.
I'm so sorry, but that will be inherited property.
The first female millionaire was in the late 1800s.
And was that inherited?
No, it wasn't. It was self-made. Yes, it was.
Self-made.
Yes, it
and
was.
She never inherited land.
Yes, she did not
inherit.
And what
law permitted that?
What?
And first off, that is true. It was a black woman, and she was self-made.
What law permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential in history.
Let's get on to the vote. So what I don't understand is, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
Your big push is that you care about men, and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't made the point yet.
Okay.
Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. How is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again, men do all of that. Well, then, okay, I'd love.
Okay, so her message is to be equal. I don't know why. Why? Okay, her message is to be equal, but she wants to take the rights from women to vote. She wants women to be equal to men, but she feels that women shouldn't have the right to vote. But men do, but women shouldn't. But she wants them to be equal, but women can't vote, but men can. But they're equal. But one can do something and the other can't. You see how that's not equal. That is not. Oh my God, man, oh man, I'm losing brain cells at this very moment explaining this. And God forbid, if you're somebody who doesn't understand what I am saying, I feel sorry for you, okay? Like, dude, and don't drink your juice. Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood. I feel sorry for your mother, okay? Because you're an idiot. And she is too. Jesus Christ.
For the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society. They're open. They're hiring because I don't think men or women are equal until we do the equal work. So no, listen. Go apply to be on the oil rigs. Go be a plumber. Go be an electrician. Go be on the front lines of the military. And then we should have equal rights. But until
it's like saying, first off, there is women who are in the oil rigs. There are women who are plumbers. There are women who are electricians. Like, what is your point? It's like asking men, if you want the right to vote, we need more men nurses. And it's like, oh, there's a few men nurses, but like we need it to be exactly 50%. It's like that's weird. It's like, but once again, like men can't vote because there's not enough men nurses. And I mean, nurses are kind of important, right? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, healthcare is way too much. I try to stay away from hospitals, but I'm just assuming nurses play a role for a reason. But I mean, once again, like, that's not her argument is, men work more and blah, blah. What does this have to do with voting and the right to vote? I don't know. Maybe she'll let us know.
Feminists are willing to do that. I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, well, I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely not. You said you were volleyball.
Wow.
You said you were a volleyball player, and so you've got more strength than I do. I don't think that I can do those jobs.
I don't have more strength than the average man.
I'm not going to take your right away to do it.
I don't have more strength than the average man, but again, it goes back to go be a plumber. You want to be equal, go be equal.
You want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because I don't think what we have today is really marriage. What is marriage? It's for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate and the average marriage
Why is that all
8
down to the
years.
women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why
But
feminists ruin it?
you asked why I want divorce to be banned.
First off, is she married? I've been married 14 years, okay? I don't even like to try to give people marriage advice because, you know, to each his own. Not every marriage is supposed to be the same. My marriage isn't your marriage. But I'd be damned if someone who was not married, and they said that she's 26, she's not married, don't know if she got kids, more likely she doesn't, is trying to tell people how marriage is supposed to work. Do we see the stupidity, just the energy coming from her? Nothing she is saying is making sense. Not even a little bit. Like no. I want you to be married for 10, 15, 20 years. Have kids. Go through the emotions. And then come back and tell me, hey, marriage is supposed to be, you know, this, and this. You got to stick it out because I got the receipts to show that I did. But no. Whoa. Oh, I got to breathe. All right, let's try this again.
Yeah. Can I finish
Yeah.
that first? So I'm saying, you know, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married.
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
You know, and that's a fair complaint. I wish I was. But, you know, we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's fair that you get to be here and you get to be paid.
Shut off the interview. Be done. Why is she still talking? That was the end of her argument. None of that applies to you. You're not even a virgin. You probably got a couple STDs yourself. And you want to talk. No. That should not be okay. You should be the last person anybody should be looking for advice. No. Oh.
For your views, and you're telling other women that they shouldn't be allowed to.
I think.
And they
What
should
is the?
Hang on. Okay, if I may, at some stage jump in. Isn't the whole point of being a feminist, though, that women are entitled to have their own views?
Absolutely, and
so she's perfectly entitled to her views.
Yeah, but you can't.
You might not like them.
But I'm here to challenge
But isn't she
them.
exercising her right as a? Are you a feminist?
No, I am not.
Really?
No, you know, I wouldn't. Don't go that far.
You don't want to be a feminist?
No, because I think if feminists really believed in equality, but you guys don't, I would love for you. There is an oil rig hiring. There is an engineering
I would actually
firm
love to see
hiring.
Ava Santana on an oil rig.
Seriously. There is a building being built next to my building. Go do it, feminists. Go do it. And me,
Paul,
I'm saying
the same job that I'm doing right now.
When you find the man you want to get married
Go
to, are you
do
saying
it,
you will
feminist.
literally- you will be with that man whatever happens the rest of your life?
yes, for the vows that we're supposed to live
How do you
by.
know you can keep them?
I mean, I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, like women are so willing to leave marriage.
She said it's a choice. He asked her, how do you know if you can keep them? It is a choice. A choice. that is the whole entire point of freedom, is to have a choice. I think she said it right there. You have the choice. Jesus Christ, man, can somebody shut
marriages
it up?
because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
Ava, I've got to say, it's a little like listening to Andrew Tate, where some of it I really don't agree with. I don't agree with the vote stuff. When I hear things like that, I think there'll be a lot of people, especially older generation women perhaps, who think, you know what, she's got a point.
Well, I mean, I believe in agency, so I think that if a woman is going to look after her children...
Hey, she should literally say, a broken clock works twice a day. Do you still keep the clock? Do you still hang that on your wall and rely on it to tell you the correct time? No, you don't. You throw that sucker away. You buy a clock that actually works like it's supposed to. So yeah, all clocks' lives matter, but if you broke, what good are you? What good are you for society? Who cares? Oh, she said a little truth, so like, Jesus Christ, man. She said the sun is bright outside. It's 87 degrees, and she's right. Are we gonna let her talk on your platform for what? Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Divorce, that's absolutely fine. I also believe in your right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand...
I'd like to say, even before the 1920s,
Do you know what I mean?
women could speak openly. This idea that, like, women couldn't talk the last 500 years, there have been women throughout history...
I know, but the American state education system has failed before, and it's failing now.
There have been women throughout history that have read, written, and been very influential in society.
Okay.
So this idea like women could never do it,
Do you know
don't
what
believe
I don't understand, though, is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because you put down a few arguments that I think are perfectly, they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when it kind of seeps into this sort of, you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs.
Okay. Whoa. This is where I exit the conversation, because none of that means nothing to me, okay? I don't care what you think is fat. I don't care what you think is pretty. Live your life. I think the point what the young lady was trying to say is, leave your beliefs, leave what you think a marriage should look like, and what a perfect woman should look like, and what a perfect man should look like. Live your life. Do what you gotta do. But once you get into a position of trying to tell and dictate people and judge them based on your standards, that's where we have a problem. Like, why? Keep your thoughts to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Christian. I am a God-fearing man myself, but I would never force that onto other people. I've been married 14 years, but I would never tell someone they should model their marriage after mine, because it may not work for them. You see what I'm saying? I met my wife 1 month, next month we got married. I don't advise that for everybody. Do what you feel you have to do to be happy in your life. But I don't know. It feels like saying this is almost a waste of time, because it almost feels like this should be common sense. And I don't want to make content telling you guys something that I hope you already know. I want to share with you something new. Something that'll stimulate your mind. You know what I'm saying? That'll get you thinking. But my main question is, why are we platforming people like this? Like, for the laughs, for the clicks? I don't know, but it's a headache. You know what I'm saying? And thank God I don't have to hear her anymore, because I'm so going to try to not have to deal with whatever she got going on over there. But once again, if you think I'm wrong, if you think women shouldn't have the right to vote because, you know, they slept with the guy and they have an STD, I guess, and like that's okay, right? Because, you know, we're men and we work in the oil rigs, I guess. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And like always, let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.